we just discussed this, but for the listener, for the one listener, this book got boring for a period there. Yeah. I feel like our last episode, we didn't talk about the book very much because it was kind of like a boring section. But then this section that we're talking about now is like fucking wild. Like so many tidbits of facts of information.
Yeah. Or even titbits.
Actual tidbits. I mean, literally, they were talking about pendulous breasts for some period of time while I was reading this.
That'd be a great name for a podcast. Maybe you should start a separate one with one of your girlfriends.
Yeah. Well, welcome everybody to the Recapitate podcast. This is episode number 3 for the book Sex at Dawn. In the book, you are listening to the audiobook of this, so you didn't get to see, but they have a picture of a butt bra.
Oh, I can't believe I missed out.
Yeah.
You didn't even let me know.
At some point when they were publishing this book, a butt bra was possible.
What is a butt bra? Like have people got really baggy butt cheeks?
Yeah, it's like to lift your butt cheeks up to give you like a nice Brazilian booty. What they have now, and I see them all the time at the gym, is like those like scrunch bum tights. Yeah. They're like bike shorts that have like it literally is like cinched in, so it goes right inside your asshole.
Yeah.
It's fucking next level. But then on top of that, they have pads.
Right.
On the inside of it to like lift the top part of the girl's butt cheeks up, so it looks like you have this big booty. But then when you're like walking or moving or whatever, it's just like a diaper. Like it's not even like. But then it's also inside your asshole. Like
that's the thing that confuses me. Like I'll be
there's
running
the most
along.
Fucked fashion.
Can I ask you a question? I don't know if you've ever worn them, but like I'll see girls along the Esplanade down here in the Gold Coast, and they have those, and it's like right up inside. And I was wondering, like, is there like a hook inside to stay in there? And sometimes they'll be wearing white ones, and I'd be like, how could you wear a white pants that far inside your asshole? Like, what if you get, do they not get skid mark? Are these girls just like non-skid mark girls or something? That's literally a thought I have every time I'm jogging. This is not just for the podcast. This is me just wondering.
I know, isn't that funny? Like, it's like fashion has gone so beyond sexy now that it's like confusing. Like, that should just be like arousing for you to see a girl who's basically just got her ass cheeks out. But instead, you're sitting there being like, oh my God, is there ass inside of her tights?
How terrifying.
I don't think that girls. I don't think that girls generally have a problem with skid marks the way that men do.
Oh, it's because of the hair.
It must be. Yeah, like I don't think that we have like hairy assholes or something.
Yeah.
So in my personal experience, I don't know too much about that. I've never worn those I don't wear scrunch bum tights.
Is that what they're called?
Yeah, they're called scrunch bum. And they literally, when they're so gross. Like I almost don't buy them on principle. Well, for many reasons, obviously, I don't really want my tights inside my ass while I'm trying to exercise. But also, I don't, I hate the way they look when you take them off. Like when they show you, covered in shit. When they show you what they look like, they're like these like sagged up like old scrotum looking things. like it's got like a cinched up
testy
ass.
bum.
Yeah, it's just fucking rank looking. Like they're just gross. But anyway, so the shorts are designed to be looser around the ass cheek, but really tight right underneath it, and then tight through where your ass crack is. Right. And then it's supposed to go straight in there. And like I have tights that are tight. Yeah. But I find it's distracting, confusing, and frustrating when if I'm trying to do Muay Thai and my tights are inside me, it's very uncomfortable. Yeah. Or if I'm doing squats or something, I want my tights to be functional and work, but I don't really want to be advertising what all of I'm working with. Yeah. It just seems unnecessary.
Yeah, the gyms are wild. Like I need to get some new gym clothes. Like I'll go in there and there's beautiful girls everywhere in the one I go into, and then there's guys in there and they all look like they've got brand new like gym clothes every day, and then I'll be getting dressed in the dark to go to the gym, and I'll have like an old singlet that's like just scrunched up in the corner, 2 different color socks on.
Yeah, skid marks all over it.
And I go in there and I'm just like, I look in the mirror and I'm like, I look like a homeless man compared to all these people.
Well, no, I mean, me too. Like, because I come from training in Muay Thai gyms. Like, you sweat so much. You're so gross.
You're
and
not
like,
a fashion person.
I go through 5 singlets in a night. You know, like you're just gross.
Yeah.
And so like I just wear all.
Is that the workout? Like taking each singlet off?
Yeah, and like squeezing the sweat out of it. It's like. But and then obviously you wear your Muay Thai shorts, so you don't have these like tights on. So I've never really experienced this like where just asses are out all the time. But Yeah, so I'm like wearing just dirty old training singlets, and then I get in there, and I actually like did feel self-conscious when I first started going there. I was like, oh, I'm wrong.
Yeah.
Like I've got the wrong fashion.
Yeah.
I need to get like matching crop top and bottom.
I'm actually going to make a note and go shopping tomorrow and buy new gym clothes because
you can't look homeless. You need to pick up some babes.
I don't even think I've ever talked to a girl in the gym. There's like a hot girl that works at the counter, and we always have a nice chat, and then I'll be like, I'm going to ask her out the next time I go in. And then I go in there and I don't ask her out again. I leave the gym and I'm like, I would have felt so good if I just had this workout in a gym with just men. But instead I'm leaving disappointed in myself for not asking out the girl.
Yeah.
I didn't even get my endorphins because I failed on one part of the mission, which is unrelated to working out.
Yeah. Well, you just got to ask her out. I'm more fatty.
I'm more fatty.
Fucking take it up to do it.
Take it up to what?
Take it up to do it. I don't know. Do I even speak
Is that what I should say to her? I'm more fatty. Take it up to do it. I'm saying, look, my friend Laura told me to say that. She said that would work.
She's a woman. Do you like that kind of thing?
Hey,
how many skid marks are in your tights now?
Turn around. Give us a twirl.
So gross.
Yeah.
Well,
we're talking about a book today.
Man, we have so many exciting things to talk about with this book. The start of this section of the book was a little bit boring because it was talking about like our ancestors and whether or not we go to war naturally or whatever.
Yeah.
And for some reason, it just all felt so dry. But it was this was really interesting that they were talking about Jane Goodall's research. She's like the most famous person for chimpanzee research.
Yeah.
And like we even in the very first section of this podcast talking about this book, we were talking about how the chimpanzees are these like violent, aggressive, like fucked up things.
Yeah.
They're like maybe the worst in aggressive human nature, and then the bonobos are like the worst in sexual human nature or whatever. And as we actually then go further into this book, we realize that that's even fucking wrong.
Yeah.
Like that the actual research that came out of there was influenced by the fucking researchers.
Yeah.
So that like when they were studying the chimpanzees, they were just studying them naturally in the wild, and the chimpanzees would like have like battles about dumb shit as per usual, like up in the trees. But for the most part, they just kind of like hung out and did their thing. One of the things that they said in the book is that the chimpanzees, when they were out naturally in the jungle looking for food, if one chimpanzee
that's the Japanese version. I didn't know you spoke Japanese.
I do.
You're so multifaceted.
I really am. Yeah, I'm a genius. One chimpanzee found food, they would call out.
Oh, yeah. Like a signal.
Yeah, so that the other chimpanzees
like, come on, lads, I just bought a round.
Yeah, come on, let's all have some.
Yeah.
So they weren't naturally greedy or anything like that. But then what happened is that because the research was taking too long, because these cunts were all dispersed like throughout the bushes, and the researchers were getting bored sitting around watching nothing happen. So they were like, oh, I've got an idea. Let's put a box of bananas right in front of us here. And then we can watch them in their natural, in inverted commas, environment. And then all the chimpanzees did were like come down and be like, oh, look, a box of bananas that are all mine right now. Fuck off, everybody. And they just started murdering each other.
And it happened so fast. And so much research is in that way influencing us in our life when it's completely flawed.
Well, it's so wrong. And like, and so then we are like, go to this story like, oh, it's just human nature. We're just greedy. We just want to get mine or whatever. And like he talks about that equivalent with Wall Street or whatever, and people saying like, well, when you look at economics, they're like, well, humans are just these like evil cunts that are just going to steal and rape and pillage and do whatever they can because we're greedy. It's in our primate nature or whatever. And it's like, no, none of that is real. And actually, one of the really interesting things is when they did an experiment called the prisoner's dilemma.
Yeah.
Which basically they take two humans, they put them into two different rooms, and then they give each of them an option. They say, if you snitch on your mate, we'll give you a lesser sentence, but they're going to get heaps.
Yeah.
If they snitch on you first, you're going to get heaps, and they're not.
Yeah.
Basically, they're designing an experiment which makes you want to snitch. That's the idea. It's self-preservation. They're trying to get you to be self-preserving. And when they run the experiment once, people generally snitch first because they're like, fuck it, I just need to get out of here.
Yeah.
But then they did the experiment again and then did it over multiple times. So the same players would play it over and over and over again.
Yeah.
And then in the long term, they realized that actually cooperation and keeping their mouth shut was better off for them in the long run.
Yeah.
Then they did an experiment where they put nodes on their brains and watched what parts of the brain regions would fire up, like what would have the biggest response. And they were predicted that people would have the biggest response if they got betrayed. So it would like fire up their emotional centers, like, oh, I've been betrayed. It makes me angry, makes me violent, whatever. But the thing that fired up the most in their brain regions was when somebody cooperated with them.
Yeah, right.
So the human brain lights up most rewarding, most activated when another human cooperates with them, not when another human makes them angry. When another human betrays them or makes them angry, it actually dampens their response. Isn't that fucking fascinating?
Yeah.
So like we talked about oxytocin in the last episode, that it's like this chemical bonding thing that we have. But like when you are in a society where you are held responsible for your own actions, it always works out better for you and for everyone to cooperate, to work together. Where it gets fucked up and where it gets wrong is when we go past that 150 tribe people. They call it Dunbar's number.
Shout out to Dunbar.
Yeah. You can only like persist in a group of 150 people, not because that's like how big our society needs to be, but that's because that's how many people can hold you accountable without starting to dip into anonymity.
Yeah.
So with this internet shit and with like internet trolls, and like we've seen it, we can watch it happen in real time. If you are anonymous online and there's no ramifications for your behavior and there's no shame and no social responsibility, you'll do whatever the fuck you want.
Yeah.
And so we can say, oh, that's just human nature. We're just bad. But it's not at all. It's a manufactured environment that's unnatural to what our body actually wants.
It happens in big businesses too. It's that, I can't remember the term, but like in big businesses, the reason a lot of bad things happen is because people feel like they're so separated from the person who's getting hurt at the end. Like it's that so many stages of removal. So like people at big companies, they don't really care if someone's getting hurt from, you know, a bad deal or whatever it is, because you're removed by a certain amount of people that you just, oh, well, it's anonymity again, right?
Yeah, chemicals in the food, whatever's cheaper production materials.
Yeah.
If we have to use slave, like Nike, if we have to use fucking slave workshops, who gives a shit?
Yeah.
It's cheaper and we can get more of these shoes out.
Yeah. Whereas in that Dunbar number, like if you're selling a product in 150 people, you're going to bump into that person on the street, and that's kind of what it is, right? Like if you're going to bump into that person, you're not going to put chemicals in the bread, you're not going to rip someone off with eggs, because it's going to be in the town square tomorrow. People are going to hold you accountable for the bullshit that you do. So when we are held accountable for our actions, and when there's like direct consequences of being a fuckhead, I mean, you can see it in the car. Yeah.
You know, like when you're driving in the car and your windows are up and people are like road raging at each other, and then they roll down the window, they think they're a big dog, and then they get out like nothing fucking ever happens. One of them drives away, and if they do have a scrap, it's like the stupidest, just two absolute fucking nerds trying to like, it's like, no.
Also the best reel the other day, it was like if pedestrians acted like drivers in road rage. Did you see that?
I've seen
and
something
they're just
like
walking around each other, like passing each other out, just going like this and stuff. Like, it's such a great reel, because that's right. Like people act so much different in a car than a little secret bubble. Yeah,
you are. You have this. It's your troll box. You know what I mean? You're inside your own little troll box where you can be a troll, and then you get out in the real world and you realize you're not such a big dog anymore.
I always see it online, and it's really funny when there's a couple of comedian girls who have like big followings, and like obviously they get some shitty message from some loser guy, but then they'll post it as a story and like name and shame him, and like it's so hilarious because it seems to happen a lot. You know, guys just saying crap or whatever, but then they're just name and shamed, like on a story of someone who's got like 100,000 followers, like, and like I could just imagine them sitting at home in their whatever fucking loneliness, just getting absolutely destroyed.
Yeah. Well, if they're saying it from their right name, I mean, I guess it's like if it's like Jimmy Bob 3012.
Yeah. They probably make the mistake sometimes thinking, oh, well, this person is not going to even reply. Yeah. And then all of a sudden they're
out on a story.
Yeah.
Well, and I kind of don't. I don't disagree with it. Like I think that if you anything like there is the one side of privacy that you're like, I don't like that everyone can be inside everyone's everything.
Yeah.
I don't want people to have access to all the shit I've ever written or said or looked at or whatever, because who knows what I've said. And a lot of times for us, especially, like, we're being ironic.
Yeah.
Like we were joking about calling this podcast Books Are Gay for ages. Like on all of my folders in my computer for this podcast still say Books Are Gay, because it's just funny to me.
Like if you got arrested and the cops found you, like, what's wrong with this woman?
It's such a dumb thing. It means nothing. But like out of context, anything any of us could, and with the amount of content of our voices that's out on the internet, AI models could say make us say anything.
Yeah, like I had sex with a donkey last night.
Yeah.
Clip that.
Done.
Damn
Bestiality, Ian.
Damn it.
Oh, but you'd get heaps of new followers.
Yeah.
So if that's the goal.
Whatever
takes us to 1 million subscribers
by
and everyone
Wednesday.
loves the podcast by Wednesday, I don't give a fuck.
What are we at now? Like 465,000?
No, 1,200,000.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Isn't that 1.2 million?
I don't know what the number. I don't know how numbers work. As soon as I said that number, I couldn't tell if it was bigger or smaller.
1,200 million gazillion.
I'm really good at the art side. I'm not so good at the number side.
Yeah. 2 + 2 is 4.
But yeah, so like that chapter of the book, or that section, kind of like was so dry all the way up until that point. And then it is kind of fascinating to, like, you realize, like, oh my God, it's not human nature. This is a construction around us. Our actual nature, our human nature, is what you see at a birthday party. Yeah. Like, because think about it this way. Luke Combs just came to Brisbane and sold out 3 nights in a row. Like, he's a giant country singer. Yeah. I don't know how many, it was Suncorp Stadium, I guess, that he sold out. And it would have been, again, I'm no good with numbers.
I don't know.
150,000 people every night, right? Yeah. For 4 nights in a row. Nobody got stabbed. Yeah. Maybe there was some punch-ons. Maybe.
A couple of people got fingered.
But yeah, probably lots of people fell in love with somebody else. Lots of like nice shit. Somebody was banging in the bathroom. Who knows? Like, but even if there were several fights, 150,000 people all in one place. Yeah. I mean, just imagine if 150 alligators were in one place. 150,000 alligators or crocodiles or sharks. Like, nobody would fucking survive. Yeah. We do this regularly. Of like, we went and watched an AFL game and there's a stadium full of people. Nobody was hurting anyone. Yeah. It's like...
In England, they fuck each other up pretty badly.
Actually, yeah. England is kind of like alligators.
Nah, you're 100% right. Like...
But that is true, actually. There's something interesting about that dynamic, like the footy hooligans or the football hooligans over there. That again is a learned behavior, and this is tribe mentality, based on the belief that tribes should be warring.
And they love fighting.
Yeah, and they love fighting. And I guess like when you are struggling for any other kind of like meaningful existence, your tribe becomes your meaning. And and it's like a Fight Club scenario, you know, like there is some lure to the idea of like pushing yourself to the limit and facing these fears when you've got a lot of like young testosterone and you don't know what to do with it. But it's, I think, an easy thing for us to, like, it's just so funny. It's an easy thing for us to fall back onto, like, oh, well, we're just violent beings and we like violence. And it is not necessarily the case. I don't think anyone really likes violence. Yeah. We have situations where, like, I think our chemicals will give us heaps of adrenaline and kind of a rush of dopamine because it makes you face the thing. Yeah. And so you get tricked into thinking that this is fun because your chemicals are telling you it's fun.
Yeah, you're feeling alive. Yeah. Yeah. And the interesting thing is, like, you know, when you're talking about the introducing scarcity with the apes and then war begins, like, if you look at our human nature, like, the people that start wars, like the powerful people who run countries, like, they start the wars, but they're not going into battle. They're sending the peasants into battle. And they're also the people who they create scarcity with. Like, the number one way that leaders in countries control people is with famine. Like, African countries, in Ireland, there was a famine brought on by the English. There's famine created in Gaza right now. It's done by the people in control, create scarcity. People attack each other, and then they create war and put those same people into war. So when they tell us that it's nature for people to go into war, well, it's not the people choosing to go to war. It's the people in control creating scarcity and creating the war. So it's not natural at all, really. It's like war, it's created by a few people in control, who are creating scarcity and war and taking all the winnings for themselves. It's not the people that are at home thinking, oh, I just want to leave my family and go off to war today.
Yeah, well, and it's indoctrinated into you in a way like that we fuel that then with this belief that like support your tribe, support your nation or
and
whatever.
Tell propaganda about the enemy and
well, do you know this is really interesting. When I was growing up, so I grew up in America, and there is a government program that if your parents make under a certain amount of money, so underneath a certain poverty line, you are eligible for government grants to pay for your college education. Okay. Right? It's an eligibility thing based on income, purely based on income. And some new presidency, I can't remember if it was maybe George Bush's presidency, that got changed. Yeah. But when I was going to university, the story is for every poor American kid, if you want a college education, if you want to be the first one in your family to go to college, if you want to bring your family out of the gutter, you're going to get that college degree. But first, you need to join the Army Reserves. Yeah. And it's the only way, and then we'll pay for your tuition. What they don't fucking tell you, you don't have to join the Army Reserves. If your parents make under a certain amount of money, the government grant exists already. You do not have to join the Army. But they don't tell you. This is not advertised. The only thing that's advertised is that you have to join the Army. So all the poor kids in America, anyone who's a go-getter that wants to change their life, they join the Army Reserves. And then we go to fucking war with Afghanistan.
And you have to go.
They have to go. And I was just so lucky because my college counselor was switched on and knew about this. And they told me about the grant, and I got to go to university without having to join the Army Reserves.
That's wild.
Isn't that insane?
What did you study?
Film.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Is that a good segue to talk about the difference in physical violence versus sperm violence?
Yeah. That's a good transition. That's a nice segue.
I was trying to think of the word.
Well, so as far as like the sperm competition is concerned, in environments where there is physical competition for territory and for sex, the males develop double the size of the females. So like with gorillas, because they're an ape similar to us, but gorillas are like twice the size or maybe more than that, the size of their females. Yeah. Because there's only one dominant male that just fucks all of the women. Yeah. So he has to bash away all of the other competitors. He has to constantly be fighting them off. So he has to be heaps bigger. But his dick and balls are tiny.
It said like the gorilla's dick is like an inch long when full mast.
Really? Yeah. Yes.
But yet and they call it a harem society. I never knew that was in nature as well. So he's like just either fighting off or having sex. Like, what a wild life.
Oh, stressful, right?
Stressful life.
So stressful. And the women, or the females, just kind of have to, sit around and take it whenever he decides.
They're like, oh, I wish it was that guy over there. He's a nice guy.
Yeah.
Like, he'd make eye contact with the other gorilla for, the last 6 months. He's just over there, winking at her. She's like, I just want to bang him. Here comes Barry again with his little 1-inch penis.
1-inch penis. For 40 seconds. That's how long they have sex for. It's just 1-inch penis, 40 seconds in and out.
She's like, oh no, again, every day.
Every day.
But yeah.
At least it's kind of painless.
Yeah. So the idea is that they are physical dominant.
Yes.
But their sperm doesn't have to fight because there's no other sperm getting into the female gorilla.
Yeah. So what the argument is in the book is that if we were monogamous or even polygamous, which would be one man and several females, then the anatomy should reflect that, which means that males should be double the size of the female. We have tiny little balls and tiny little dicks because there's no need to compete once you've gotten beyond the body. Yeah. The body's the most important thing. Nobody else touches the females until that guy gets fucked up and then the new guy comes in. Yeah. But with gibbons, which are another ape that are monogamous and purely monogamous, on the full other side of the spectrum, the gibbon is exactly the same size as its partner. So male and female gibbons are exactly the same size. Again, same thing, small dick and balls. Yeah. There's no female orgasm. Yeah. They just have sex to procreate, done. That's it. Yeah. They are monogamous. They're pair bonded, but that's it. And then you have in the middle chimpanzees and bonobos, which are our closest ancestors. And they all have orgasms. They all have sex with everybody all the time. And they have huge balls. Yeah. Compared to their bodies. Yeah. And dicks, I think, are...
Yeah, the bonobos have egg-sized balls, apparently, like chicken egg-sized balls.
Yeah, like bigger than human balls.
Yeah.
They're actually bigger. Yeah. And then so then the whole theory of this is that and also the chimps and the bonobos are like 20% bigger male than female.
Yeah.
So there's like an element of physical dominance a little bit, but
just enough to make it kinky, but like
just to make us feel cute. And it's the same ratio, men to women. So human males and females are approximately 20% on average larger than each other. And then your ball size and dick size are way bigger dick size than every other ape on the planet.
In comparison to their body size.
To the body
like
size.
The gorilla has kidney bean size balls, apparently.
Just nothing.
That's what they said in the book.
They've got like 3 sperm that shoot out, just like 3 little guys like with helmets on, being like, well, one of us is going to go to work today. Whereas humans have 700 billion, just being like, fuck. What the human body, what the bonobo body and the chimpanzee body are showing is that there's sperm competition, not physical competition. Yeah. So that instead of the physical beings having to fight it out to be able to have sex, they all just have sex with everybody and let the sperm decide who's going to make a baby.
It's wild. And we haven't talked about it in the podcast yet, have we? I think we might have talked about it before the show, about how sperm competition actually works, but how it's believed in many different societies and tribes and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Because I feel like that sperm competition is such a wild conversation all by itself. I think you might have talked about it in a post the other day.
Yeah. You're reading it and you kind of feel like, well, we're superior to these ancient societies because the ancient societies had a belief, and several of them, these are just Amazonian people, but also several different tribes, have a belief that the more people they have sex with, so the more sperm that comes into the reproduction process will eventually create a baby.
And it's like it's not just that, like, it's taking chances, that you're getting like the strong sperm from the strong man, you're getting the fast sperm, the funny person, the one that's good at music, and then it creates the person that has all of the attributes into one person.
Yeah, so it's like you're making a mosaic.
A big cum cake.
Giant cum cake mosaic.
Yeah.
It's like, like a paper mache, you know, like when you used to make paper mache shit at school, like you're just taking newspaper scrappings, covering them in cum, and then like throwing them on the balloon, and eventually it becomes a mask.
And that's what they actually believe. That's literally how they believe a baby is conceived. So then there's no jealousy, there's none of these things, because she has to get all the...
Yeah, she needs to go, and she has to actually an obligation to her tribe to have sex with as many people as possible to build the strongest baby.
Yeah.
And then also on the other side of that, then there's no violence, like where the male gorilla is going to kill all the other babies, because there's no need to, because all of the men don't know who's the dad anyway.
And not just that, but they know that there's not going to be any kids unless they all put it in, because they all got to contribute.
Yeah.
So it'd be silly to be jealous because everyone's needed.
Yeah.
Even the little weird dude with the gimp leg and the monocle.
Needed. He's absolutely not needed. He stays out of
There probably is still one guy that doesn't get it. You know, like everyone gets some, and there's still one guy like with a little gimp hand that's just not getting any.
He's just not. Like, he's got a nice personality.
He's the guy that like serves everyone drinks and stuff. But then the other thing that I thought was really cool was that.
Oh yeah, but we didn't finish this point. So like we thought. So you're reading this being like, oh, how cute, these silly primitive tribes. They think that all the sperm makes a baby. How cute and primitive. But then the actual modern research is fucking crazy. That if you have sex with several different partners, the cum, and unprotected sex, obviously, where they ejaculate inside a woman, the cum stays, the DNA from those sperm embeds itself in the uterine tissue inside the female. And so for however long period of time, that sperm is like preserving its DNA genetic material inside the uterine
just
lining.
Like waiting in there like this going.
Yeah, just you know like those like at the fair, at the show, where there's like it's like a cylindrical circle, and then it spins really fast, and everyone gets sucked up to the walls. That's like what it is. Like all the sperm are just locked.
Another one comes in, they're like, "Hey, you gone?"
Like they're just trapped up against the wall, being like, "Well, I hope an egg comes down soon." But like in order to get into the egg, in order for that genetic material from all of the extra sperms that are just like hanging out in the shadows, just waiting behind the trees, the sperm that actually makes it through goes in, and one sperm does enter one egg. That is correct. Like that's how human babies are made. Yeah. But then all the genetic material that's inside the womb is from all of these other ejaculations. Then all of them come together, and some of that genetic material will actually show up in the baby.
Yeah. There's this kind of older guy, this masculine influencer. He's a little bit religious, but he's super interesting. And he was kind of talking about it from a more negative standpoint. Like if you're having sex with people that, you don't want to have any DNA. Like it's not just a case of like having a shag and having a bit of fun, but it's like that person's DNA could be in your baby that you decide to have with another guy. Yeah. So it's not as casual as you think.
Yeah, who knows what genetic traits are being passed down. Yeah. But, the argument that they make in this book, and again, the criticisms of this book is that they tend to portray this hunter-gatherer life as being this like just amazing utopia where nothing bad is ever happening.
Dancing through the,
So they give the opposite point of view, which I kind of agree you need a balanced point of view. It's like, how many dudes' DNA do you really want in your birth canal? Like, to be honest, like, come on. Like that obviously is just like not a nobody wants that. No. But then on the other side, what they're talking about in this book is that it promotes sperm competition.
This is the interesting bit too,
means that if there are several different groupings of sperm from several different ejaculations inside the womb or inside the birth canal, then only the very strongest ones are actually going to make it through to the egg. Yeah. So the DNA that isn't fit to make a baby isn't going to fertilize. Like it's not going to go. So even if that DNA is sitting in there, the strongest DNA is actually going to be the one that replicates. It's not going to be the shit that is not suitable for that environment. So like evolutionarily speaking, it actually makes more sense that you have a huge selection of inputs so that the best DNA will actually manifest. But I don't know. Well, so one of the drawbacks and what they talk about in this book is that one of the drawbacks of monogamous sex is that if there is no sperm competition, so if the female is not having sex with 10 different people, if they're only having sex with one other partner and he has weak DNA and weak sperm or whatever, if they're monogamous and they're together for 10 years and they're trying to make a baby, he will eventually make a baby with her, even if it's not
even
right.
If it shouldn't be. Yeah.
And so evolutionarily, we may be making weaker, more sick or more, genetically damaged children because we aren't introducing this competition. But that's a fucking dangerous road to go down. And who knows? That's a conjecture. But
so there's two things I wanted to ask there, right? So one is with the sperm competition in the older tribes, where if say there's 10 sperms in there, 10 guys' sperms in there, so that would be just over a space of a month, right? One cycle, is that right?
Well, yeah. So this is the question: is like how long for? And I don't know the answer to that
because I feel like for the initial pregnancy it'd be 1 month, but the DNA thing goes right through up until the birth, right? Because you quoted some science, and I've been reading things where the DNA can affect even after while the baby's been growing inside the womb.
Well, yeah, because that's where it's getting its genetic information from.
It's getting all its nutrients and everything.
Yeah, so
like
the other
how
sperms
long? Are still in there, like stirring up the juices.
But that's the question: is like how long does that DNA actually sit in there valid for? Like the sperm die like straight away. Yeah. Like the sperm have to go through fucking like hell. Like they describe it as being like a rugby match. Yeah. They even say, and this is fucking crazy, that like semen, it actually comes out in 3 phases. Like 3 different chemical structures, 3 different phases while you are coming. Right. So the first part of it is like
the front line.
The front line goes out and they're like the blockers. Yeah. And they like
clearing the way.
Like set the acidity inside the environment that's going to be the healthiest for the middle section of the cum to come through.
Working as a team, like.
Yeah, so they like come out, they're like the blockers and they're like clearing the way. Yeah. And then the next group goes in and they're the impregnators and they're like trying to make sure they get to the baby.
Yeah, they got big cocks.
And like big drills on the top of their faces, like drilling into the egg. And then
like, there's a used condom. Push that out of the way, boys. We don't want that.
What's in here? Is that a gerbil's tail? And then the last part of the ejaculate, like Neapolitan ice cream, you've got like 3 flavors that come through. The last one is acidic that seals it up.
Yeah, right.
That makes it an inhospitable environment for new cum that comes
just
after.
Just some like chilled sperm with a cigarette, just like puts a cigarette and seals it up.
Yeah, it's like they're just like laying across the front, like
cool dudes.
Oh, like the SWAT team.
Yeah,
like they're just like,
oh, you seal it off.
Yeah, they're just like absolutely not. They create this like acidic environment where they're like, nope, you're not coming in.
That's wild.
Isn't that wild?
Yeah.
So that's just one cum.
Yeah.
And so then all the other cums are doing that. But then
that's what I visualize every time I come.
Yeah, I
that
bet
whole
it is.
operation.
Neapolitan ice cream.
It makes me last longer. I go through the whole process.
Oh yeah, that's a lot.
Some people shout out God when they're coming. I shout out, "Go Barry, Frank, John, number 2, Poddy, hot."
Yeah, it is a fucking funny concept. But so like that happens. That's so what they're trying to say, like by talking about all this anatomy shit, is like that the entire human sexual organism for male, both male and female side, are built for this sperm competition thing. Yeah. So it's like built to help us create the strongest baby with the strongest DNA, and theoretically with several samples.
Yeah.
And it's just a fascinating concept. I don't know that I don't think that it means like, oh good, let's all just go fuck everybody. No. But I think it's just interesting. And it's funny, like one of the other parts of it is that only polyamorous species, so only species that are having sex with multiple people, actually pump, like thrust, the way that humans do when they have sex. When you're doing that, your dick is actually operating as like pulling other cum out.
All right.
So it's like doing that to get rid of the cum that's already in there. So like that's why you do what you do.
Really?
Like the thing that's supposed to feel good or whatever, you're just like getting in there and putting your dick inside somebody. You're actually pulling out. It like creates a vacuum suction and pulls the other, like all of whatever else is inside there, pulls it out. And then you think like, oh, well that doesn't make sense because when you come, you're going to pull your own cum out when you get out of it or whatever. But what happens is, as soon as you come, it releases the vacuum seal, and then you leave your shit in there.
Yeah. Like a spaceship leaving the dock. It's fucking wild, isn't it?
Isn't that fucking nuts?
Do you know what's interesting? Because from this week's podcast to last week's podcast, like last week we were both kind of like, and like it was kind of, we were talking about like deep monogamous relationships. But then when you mentioned this kind of science, and I was reading some of these sections again today, you kind of like it does sound like women are made to take all the tribe's men. So it's like it's kind of triggering me away because I'm like, now I don't really know what to believe. I don't want to have a girlfriend that's banging everyone. But
no.
and because as humans, it kind of seems like we're halfway in between. Like we're not obviously big like the gorillas to be the physical fighters in the outside world, but we also have the makeup for sperm competition. So we're kind of this in-between transition phase, maybe. Yeah. Maybe that's why there is so much confusion. Maybe because there is no right or wrong, which is basically what we ended up talking about last week. Again,
yeah,
we're just in this phase of choice.
Yeah, you kind of have to choose what feels right for you and whatever feels honest for you. And I think, one of the scarier, and I think that's probably a little bit of a propaganda statement. It's like one of those fear-based statements that's like, if you aren't having sex with multiple people, we're going to make less strong babies. And like, well, all right. We don't know that's a conjecture. That's not necessarily true. But what I think comes out of this is that even if you are just having sex with one person, the function of that, like the way that the whole biology works and stuff, does mean that only the best sperm are going to get through from that male. Yeah. So even then, like the best chances of you getting pregnant by the person, it means that his sperm function to only make sure that the best of his sperm get through. Yeah. So you don't necessarily need somebody else's sperm to have sperm competition. Yeah. It's still sperm competition regardless. Yeah. It can be competition with your own sperm.
Yeah. So if they're having sex heaps of times within that month,
he's going to pull out all the other sperm that isn't going to do the thing, and he's going to deposit whatever sperm. Like, you just continually are doing the thing to get the best sperm in, the best chances of getting pregnant. Yeah. And then this kind of does take us to like another couple like fascinating things that I read about. And one of the things that I posted about today was that men who ejaculate 3 times a week or more have a 50% less chance of contracting coronary heart disease. So the more you ejaculate, the less chance you have of getting heart disease.
Right.
Like how those fucking things are connected. Who knows if it's a testosterone thing, if it's a, exercise thing. I don't know what the fuck. Like it gets your blood moving, but it's also just detoxifying in a way or something. Like your body is not designed to create sperm and store it in its balls. Yeah. And they also said that like the reason your balls are on the outside of your body is that it
keeps it fresh,
keeps them like refrigerated, so they can be stored for a little bit longer. But if men have like a poor sperm count and they're like having trouble getting their wife pregnant, one of the remedies is to ejaculate every single day.
Right on.
Because the more you ejaculate, the more damaged sperm get out, and then it regenerates more healthy sperm. Yeah.
Yeah, it makes sense. Like keeping it moving.
Yeah, that you gotta kind of just
going,
like,
boys.
if you're like holding on to these things that are designed to be constantly moved on, then like it reduces the risk of prostate cancer as well. It's like just getting the shit out, clearing out the pipes or whatever. Pretty fascinating. And like, because we have this like shameful thing about, especially religions and stuff, shameful thing about masturbation or whatever. And but actually it kind of turns out that your body's, you got to do it.
So boys, if you don't want to die from a heart attack, go. And it's good for the Kleenex business as well, Kleenex tissues industry. Hey, you know we were talking about the whole sperm competition thing. Does that mean that if Bonnie Blue was to have a baby, it would be the strongest human that ever?
Dude, she's gonna give birth to the Hulk.
Maybe she was created by the elites to create like the next ruler of the world.
Yeah, every single. Oh my God, just imagine.
It might come out like just this dude like with
full grown,
wearing a suit. Just like
ready to take over Wall Street and also like be the best basketball player.
Just sit down and a guy will just drive out of her pussy in a Ferrari.
In a Lamborghini.
Just like throwing out dollar bills. Can you imagine? Just smoking a cigar.
Instantly the president. Like he's just the best.
He actually, is already employed.
He's writing 7 novels. Like he can just do everything.
He's already got 1 million followers. He's like, what the fuck?
He's drawing tattoos on people as he draws past. They're the best tattoos you've ever seen.
Oh, shit. Love that.
Like imagine just the incredible amount
of DNA.
Does
she know this? You should send her a DM. Say, Bonnie Blue, I don't know if you know this, but you
are going to give birth to the next.
Do you know what? Maybe. Do you know the way Mary had Jesus?
Yeah.
And like
this is our Jesus.
Bonnie Blue is our modern day anti-virgin. She's the anti-virgin because polarities. We had the original Mary. She praise Bonnie Blue.
Praise Bonnie Blue. She's the anti-virgin, so that means she's going to give birth to the Antichrist.
Oh shit! Okay, that's not good then.
That can't be good.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Imagine a man with 100,000 different men's worth of DNA. In like, what kind of cunt he would be?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I'm not saying that men are cunts, obviously. No. But that's just a lot of competitive male sperm getting around.
Yeah. A lot of losers have probably been inside it, though. Guys that are queuing up. There'd be a lot of losers queuing up.
Yeah.
Guys that are queuing up with balaclavas on. Like, imagine like, hey boss, I got to take the day off work today. What's happening? Oh, I got in to have a root with Bonnie Blue. Like,
I'm going to have a 3-second dip into Bonnie Blue real quick.
Yeah. Wow.
But that would be real funny if he didn't come out. Like, he didn't come out in a Lamborghini, but he came out in like a beanbag with like a hacky sack. And he's like wearing a poncho and smoking weed.
Yeah. Because he's just a weak sperm survived.
He's just a collection of all the worst sperm.
He's riding a unicycle or a pogo stick. Just got like a fucking PlayStation under his arm. Bag of Doritos.
Bag of Doritos and drinking
an electric lime scooter. Prime. Drinking a Prime. Yeah. Smoking a vape.
That was so fucking funny. But yeah, I mean, maybe so. But do you know, like they also talk about like the females, like appetite for sex compared to, and like the difference between how men and women get pleasure out of sex. Like one of the things that they talk about is that no monogamous animals, and animals generally, their female doesn't have an orgasm. Like there's no female orgasm. But in polyamorous species, the females have orgasms, and females make a lot of noise while they're having sex or orgasming.
Only in the polyamorous ones.
Yeah, I guess the women are supposed to make more. I wanted to tell you this story. This is so funny. I used to live in a house down in Tugan with some strangers.
Yeah.
And I was in the middle of fight camps all the time. I was just like, I literally would wake up at the crack of dawn, go train, come home, sleep, go back and train again. Like, that's all I ever did. So my interactions with them were pretty limited. But this guy was like an environmentalist. He was like an environmental engineer, kind of like tall, maybe Dutch or something, like a kind of a European.
Yeah.
Just a fucking nerd, right?
Yeah.
Like a legend. He was such a good dude, but he was just like, and then I was sleeping one night at my house, and they had like a nerd convention somewhere. And I was in my bed. This is a big house. There's 4 bedrooms in it. Like, this girl, there's no way she could have not known that there were other people living in this house. And like, she was just yelling yes as loud as she could. Yes, don't stop. Yes, yes. Like, screaming all the things. And it made me laugh so much. Like, I was laying there just fucking hysterical, imagining the nerdiest, like, tall, skinny, lanky, just German cunt, like, making this girl go wild. Like, what the
A lot of girls like doing that in share houses, though, because they just want to cause a scene as well, I think.
Because they like the idea that other people would hear?
Yeah, I think so. I think that's probably a thing.
Well, the theory that they have in this book is that the women call out like that, or the females in the group call out.
Yeah.
Because, like, they were like, evolutionary, it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Why? Well, 2 animals are having sex with each other, they should make noises like that because it would attract a predator.
Yeah.
Like, surely a panther is going to come and eat the shit out of these monkeys because they are, like, tangled up. Their dicks inside each other or whatever.
Yeah.
And so, like, why would you be calling out? And so what they suggest is that it is better for their evolution of the animal to get more sperm involved than it is to avoid being caught.
Yeah, so it's like, come on, boys, I want the rest of yous.
Yeah, the female
Nerdy Dutcho is finished in 7 seconds. Jump on in.
Yeah, everybody in this share house, get amongst it right now because I want more.
Yeah. Don't
stop.
Yeah.
Yes, don't stop.
Don't stop and line up outside the door. Yeah, that's a really interesting thing. I
think
it is
like,
funny
again,
living in share houses, like, when it comes to those kind of things.
Oh God, just horrific.
Yeah.
But that one, like, on some nights like that shit would make you angry. But like, he was such a fucking dork. I was so excited for him. Like,
go
I was
on,
just
buddy.
pumped. I was like, get it. And then it just made me laugh so much that he was like just blowing this girl's mind.
Yeah.
But I think, like, so that's kind of one of the things they also like can't really understand why females have an orgasm.
Yeah.
This guy it was at 1558. This guy is a professor who, all the way up until 1558, we did not have the clitoris mapped out on the human anatomy.
Most guys still don't have it mapped out, but anyway.
It didn't exist, right? Like, up until 1558.
Yeah.
So like
I remember that now. Yeah.
We had been doing anatomy for fucking forever. Yeah. And then this guy
left the light switch off. Like, he's like, design a whole house and no one put the light switch there.
Yeah, like, there's a thing here, but we don't know how to access it.
Yeah.
And so this guy in 1558 is a professor, and he was like, he like did experiments. Like, he was like, he found out about this thing, and then he realized that like if he touched it, it would like get bigger, or it would like make the girl feel something. And then he'd be like, "Oh, Susan, get in here. Let me. I need to see." And he's like testing it out with like several women.
She's just like sitting there eating some crisps.
What's that?
How's it when I flick? Okay. What about if I punch it?
So he like had this amazing discovery, and he got really excited. And he went into his lecture.
I'd say she did too. They might have both got excited.
Yeah, well, it was kind of like we're allowed to feel stuff.
Yeah.
Like, because they weren't like women were not like sexual repression.
Yeah.
For all of the ages of time.
Yeah.
And so he went to his like professor, or his fucking boss or whatever, and he's like, "Oh, look what I discovered! This is an amazing thing." And then they fired him. These are all the things that he ended up getting imprisoned on: heresy, blasphemy, witchcraft, and Satanism.
Yeah, right.
And he got relieved of his position because he discovered that women are allowed to have orgasms.
Yeah. Do you know what, like, and I don't want to like pull you off topic, but I was thinking about something when I was reading it the other night of like, anytime, there's anything about unearthing like women's femininity or the inner goddess or eroticism. Like it's always, you know, the fear of men, of the insecurity of, and I was thinking about like the natural selection, right? And it's in this book, natural selection isn't like women seeking out the highest, what do you call it? The dominant male or whatever.
Yeah.
But anything that ever shows that a woman is going to get aroused or anything like that, that's when like the fear kicks in, right? Because it's like when you talk about witchcraft, it's really just about putting them in jail, because obviously we don't want the women out there doing that because the men are going to get insecure. Like it really kind of comes down to just all insecurity, right?
Yeah.
But it's so counterproductive, because obviously every guy wants a woman to have a great experience when they're with them, but then they're scared. So it's just this complete confusion. Like,
well, I mean, I feel like our entire sexual nature, like the whole business of like how we relate to each other, like we were talking about in the first episode of this book, like we're not conscious when we're dealing with each other. So we're just like fucking our own hurt and trauma and pain is just bouncing off of each other.
Yeah.
And then, you're like trying to figure each other's bodies out, but it's like too shameful to talk about. So no one talks about what feels good or doesn't, or do you like that? Do you even fucking like what I'm doing? I don't even know. I'm just like getting through it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then it's like, and the fact that it's normal that like sex is over when the man comes. And this is an interesting thing that they talk about in this book. And I've always been really curious about this, because like, I think in America, we grew up pretty sexually repressed.
Oh, really?
Like it's like, it's all over the place. Like sex is all in front of you all the time, but it's like, there's a lot of like, you're a slut if you have sex with people, you know, there's a lot of that shit. And I think it's good, because I don't think young people should be just fucking everybody all the time. I don't think that's right. Like not until you're an adult and you can make better decisions for yourself.
Yeah.
But there was a lot of confusion about like what even is sex supposed to be.
Yeah.
And then like, so the fact that like, oh, sex ends when the man comes. So it's like basically our job as a woman is to like just be the vessel that lets you come when you're done, and then we're done.
Yeah.
Like, oh, good, we did our job because you came. And like, and that is the common thing. Like, and it's like always very confusing, because you don't know, like, and then women apparently have this like crazy ability to have multiple orgasms and have like this crazy desire for constant sex all the time. But a man, when they're done, they're done.
Yeah.
Like it's sex finished.
Yeah.
And then they're just instantly onto something else. As soon as it's over, it's over. And the man, like if they last 7 minutes, that's like a crazy long time. Like that's like, whoa, that's a marathon.
It's a sick joke if there is a God, right?
Yeah.
It's like,
right?
get these two people and like,
one of them is just like, could do this all night. And the other one is strict 4 minute, like it's 7 minutes if they're a legend.
Yeah.
Like,
but that kind of leads to the whole sperm competition, polyamory thing again. Like, because if men are set up to come quickly, well, it makes sense then, because
that's what they're saying. In
yeah.
this book.
And I don't remember that section from the book, but I was just thinking there. It makes perfect sense, because then he goes to sleep and he's asleep and he doesn't have to watch her have sex with the next guy who just came in. Like, when you think about the nature of it, it's actually fucking, fuck it, I'm joining a sex cult.
Oh, it's awful.
Except
awful.
I want to be in the sex cult where I'm the only guy and there's a bunch of girls, whereas nature is leading to me believe that it's actually the opposite. Yep. The harem is actually going to be a queen bee.
Yeah.
And she's just going to be up on the big podium. Bonnie Blue, maybe she's the goddess. Maybe she's the true feminine goddess of the world.
Maybe she is.
Oh my God, we're doomed.
Well, I know that's the future of polyamory. Like if that is like Bonnie Blue is just basically like taking the rhetoric in this book as a meme. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
She's the human meme form of the rhetoric in this book that like, oh, women have this insatiable desire to constantly get fucked by everybody. We're never satisfied. We want to have 75 orgasms all the time. We can orgasm like, and I don't believe that is actually real either. I mean, maybe I'm sexually repressed or something, but like I definitely am not like a marathon, like, oh yeah, just out here having sex with 700 people. But I think one of the things that is kind of interesting about it is that, like, so when they decided that these women in the 1800s were having like this hysteria, the only way that they could deal with it is that women would go to the doctor and the doctor would like make them come.
Oh, wow.
So the doctor.
That's why everyone wants to be a doctor. That's why everyone loves doctors now.
Well, doctors apparently at the time were like, it was a chore, like, because they didn't know what the fuck they were doing.
He's just there like a sandwich in one hand. He's like,
and that's where the dildo comes from.
Yeah, right.
That's why the dildo was invented, because doctors needed some kind of technology to be able to get the shit done, because they were like sick of having to fucking masturbate all of these women all the time.
Dr. Gigolo.
And the women would like, they would just keep coming back for more, because it was like they were getting anxiety again, like that, because their husbands were, you know, like cold and whatever, they were sleeping in different wings of the house, and he would just come in when it was time to make a baby or not or whatever.
Wow.
And they had no love in their life. They were just constant anxious and whatever, repressed. And so then they would just go to the doctor and get masturbated and then come back and be all right for a week.
Hilarious.
And then keep going back. And they called it hysteria. It was an actual like disease in the book until they figured out that, oh, these are just women that are
Dr. Hysteria.
Yeah.
It's wild.
Well, one of the arguments that they kind of talk about a little bit in this book of like why people are suppressing, like why the standard narrative is being so rigidly held about this belief about monogamy.
Yeah.
Then mostly it's the fear of losing that family unit. And I know the fear because I'm feeling it. Like you read a book and you're like, oh, but I like the family unit. Like I grew up in a 4-person family unit that's safe, that's home, that makes you feel stable. And the idea that that would be any different, like if we lived in a society where there wasn't, that makes me feel scared, like lonely and lost a little bit. And so he thinks that, or they in this book are kind of talking about like the suppression of all of this evidence that humans are polyamorous and they should be polyamorous and evolutionarily. It makes the most sense for us to be that way. That like there's a real reason why we suppress that because of the fear, like the fear of letting women feel. I mean, like people still perform
female circumcision
by cutting like it's not just, it's like cutting their clit off. It's not just cutting off, and I'm not trying to say that like a circumcision for a man is any less painful. I'm sure it's fucking horrific.
But it's not,
but it's the skin around the thing. Whereas like actually cutting someone's clit off is brutal. Like that's the only pleasure that she gets out of the thing. Like that's fucking brutal, and that's pure suppression. Like that's a pretty wild thing. But also one of the things that I wanted to mention that they talk about in this book that's another fascinating little tidbit is that if a girl does have an orgasm during sex, the acidity in her birth canal changes to be more hospitable for that semen. So if a man is working enough during that sexual process, or the man and the woman together are working enough to make sure that they both orgasm, the chances that baby will, the sperm will get through are increased tenfold or whatever, because she changes, her acidity changes to make it more hospitable for the sperm.
Do you know what I think about that? I think it's kind of a spiritual thing, because like when like
it's an even balance, right?
And like when two people have a really connected sexual experience and like both people come, and then it's the polarities coming together and making the baby by magic. And that would be that, right? Like she's orgasm, he's orgasming, and then a baby's created because the environment is perfect. Like maybe that's the best way maybe that's the only way. Maybe if that doesn't happen, you should get rid of the kid and keep doing it until that happens, because maybe otherwise you're just going to have a shitty kid. Maybe that's the only way to have a good kid.
Have the right kid.
So like after you finish, like you're like, did you come? No. Okay, fucking wash it out. We'll start again tomorrow. Plunger
it out. Get back in there, Johnny. You gotta plunger this guy out. But I think, a nice takeaway from that, or like a nice concept, which is as much conjecture as any of the rest of this bullshit, is that if, like, possibly the reason why it's so hard for a female to have an orgasm, like you have to work so hard for it, like there's so much time involved, is that you need to be with a partner who wants to take that much time to understand you, make you feel safe, make you feel comfortable, make you feel good.
Which leads to future, everything too.
So the future that you can trust that the man's going to be around. To raise the kid because he took the time to want you to feel good. That he's not just in there like trying to fuck you and leave you or whatever. Like that is kind of a nice notion about it. That's something like, that's a thing that I would love to take away from it with my little paradigm of like the man loves a woman and they make a beautiful family.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. Like there's a lot of things happening there that line up from so many angles. Like from what you just said about the guy taking the time, whatever, about the nature part of she's having the orgasm, which is providing a hospitable environment, and then from a spiritual level of like the two things coming together and like unifying and then creating a new person out of that magic. So like it kind of like, I would go as far as saying it's now a scientific fact that that's how a baby should be created.
Yeah, according to our research, our current research and all of the intelligence that we've got.
I've just decided that's the science right now.
Yeah,
it makes
definitely.
Nah, that's cool though.
What was the other part of this? Oh, one thing we didn't talk about is infertility.
Yeah, that's what I literally just read as you said that.
It's hard to tell right now evolutionarily whether or not testicle size is shrinking or growing or whatever.
Yeah.
Because in skeletons that have been found from that time, there's no fucking balls on it.
Yeah, there's no. They should have put bones in our balls.
Yeah, they should have, so you could see how big your balls were. Just a little curly cue, like pig bum.
Just a little X shape. So just you can just get the circumference.
An X.
Yeah.
Two little X bones inside your
Just to
balls.
keep it shaped.
Imagine if you got kicked in the balls though, and how
And they
much
just
those
crushed.
bones would grow.
Oh my god! Like I felt, even though I don't know what a clitoris feels like on me, but when you talked about contact clitoris, you just get this clenched feeling.
Oh,
and when you just said that, I got a bigger one because I actually
Yeah.
know what that feels like.
Yeah, awful. I could not imagine.
Although I haven't had that since I was a kid. When you're a kid, you get kicked in the balls all the time because you and your mates are always just kicking each other.
Oh, okay.
Although your mates are fighters, they probably get kicked in the balls
kicked
quite a
in
bit.
the balls quite a bit.
Ooh,
Yes.
fuck yeah.
Horrible.
I kind of took you off tangent there for a second.
Oh yeah.
Infertility.
Yeah. So when they talk about it, they call it subfertility, which is just like that the sperm count is low, so
Yeah.
you're suboptimal for fertilization or whatever. But what the argument that they're trying to talk about in this book is that they're saying that, well, I guess the standard narrative is saying that testicle size has remained stable and the same for all of these 10,000 years or whatever, 15,000 years we've been alive.
Yeah.
Been humans, biological humans the way we are.
Yeah.
And, but there's no evidence that supports that because there's no balls left.
Yeah.
They've all been disintegrated and eaten by worms.
Yeah. So there's no way of telling.
So you have no idea. But
Unless there was like a little bit of mud just in that shape.
a little fossilized. Maybe they need to go to Pompeii and check, because those are like fossilized human remains. There might be little balls dangling down in a crouched man. But what they're suggesting is that if the ball size they think is shrinking,
Yeah.
because and we are less fertile than we ever have been, because of less sperm competition through monogamy, foods that we're eating, chemicals, pesticides, most consistently as hormones in beef and milk.
By all those things compound all of that then to decrease it on a massive scale. Like.
Yeah, so it's a huge scale. And so like that lifestyles that we're living can really majorly impact. It's hard to consider. Like one of the things that they said is that mothers who consumed a lot of hormone-filled beef, their sons were 17% more likely to be subfertile.
Yeah.
So this is generationally passed down. So these are sons, these are babies that were just in the womb that were eating meat. It's not like the men eating meat caused them to be infertile. This is the generational.
Yeah.
This is epigenetic. So that comes from the previous generation, which is pretty fucking wild.
So it'd be interesting to see, like obviously got technology is one thing. That's, who knows what's going to happen there. But if the population does keep getting smaller, like some people are worried that, we get turned into AI robots. Like, but does the population get so small that it goes back to a tribe and then has to rebuild back up again? Except it's got technology to help it then, like, or maybe like it gets so small and it becomes survival of the fittest again and starts from, like, it'd be very interesting. I was going to say it'd be really interesting to see, as if I'm going to be here to see it.
500 years. Well, I think like we were talking about, I can't remember which episode it was a long time ago, something that you said about like everything is nature. Technology is nature. Everything around us is nature because it came out of the fucking earth. Like everything we have. You
can't make non-nature with nature.
Yeah, we've made it out of nature, so it is nature. So possibly what's happening in our society now with genetic changes or infertility or less people having babies than ever before, maybe this is the organism, the human organism overall, the biome that we're in, actually responding to the environment. Like that the only time there's ever war in these prehistoric societies was overcrowding. Overpopulation with limited resources. So maybe we are overpopulating and overcomplexifying right now, but we also have this intelligence and capacity to connect and learn new things and fucking explore, other ways of living.
Yeah.
That hopefully with our intelligence and our increased connectivity, we can, maybe the numbers need to go down for a little bit so that we can diversify, then complexify again, and then become, I guess, a better suited version of ourselves. But again, like, we don't evolve to become better versions of ourselves. We only become better suited to the environment we're in.
The only way you can really positively affect the world is over a space of hundreds of years.
Yeah.
And that's by, like, having positive relationships and friendships and all these things, because there's not really much that we're going to do in the next 30 years that's going to change the world.
Yeah, and we don't have the tentacles that reach out to the fucking far reaching of everywhere. Like, outside of the 150 people that you have a general sphere of influence on, like, why not? If every single one of us consciously made an effort to touch 150 people in a positive way, rub their clit in such a way that they never, they don't suffer from insomnia and whatever. I mean, do your part.
Yeah.
I guess that's what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
Don't make these women suffer with hysteria. Just go and rub somebody's clit for a while.
Yeah.
150, if you can.
Look, I really would love to. No, I can't say this without sounding super cool on the podcast.
You're trying to make a joke. Like, I can say that.
I was going to say I'd love if my week ahead involved me rubbing 150 clits. But also, it'd be a super time-consuming thing. Like,
I know, by the end of it, you'd be like, I wish someone invented a dildo.
And then I'd also need, remember, like, back in the day when everyone was sewing at home, and, like, my granny would have, like, little things put over the finger to stop the pin going in? I'd have to have one of them. The skin would be worn off. Actually, that might work well, actually. Clit rubber, little tit glove.
Yeah,
tit glove. Clip clop. Fucking hell.
We're so tired. All right, well, that's the end of this.
Should we call this episode Frazzle Be Dazzled?
Fucked. Well, very interesting. So much interesting, cool stuff. We've got one more episode about Sex at Dawn left, and that will just kind of summarize what we thought about all of the everything.
Yeah.
And if you guys have any questions about any of this shit, or if you didn't feel like we covered enough, or you want to hear about more detail of something, let us know.
Send us a message. Thanks for listening again.
Thanks for listening. We'll talk to you next week. Bye.